Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Sharon's Home and Garden. So we are well into July now. Today is July 13th and it just stops raining here in July and part of August because as the storm systems come, normally the fronts will come from the northwest and they come through here, they dry up as they get to this little corner of the state. Now, a little bit to the north of us, like Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, those areas, they get a lot more rain. And to the south of us, especially in the Chicago area and directly south of state line, they get a lot of rain. But the storms just kind of split as they come this way, and I don't know what it is. And it can't be Lake Michigan because, you know, Fond du Lac isn't that far from Lake Michigan. Chicago's right on Lake Michigan, although it's the tip of Lake Michigan. But everything tends to dry up as it comes here. So we get into drought conditions. And I have a lot of garden to water. So I want to show you what I've come up with to water this garden. Last year, I installed this drip irrigation system. And I have it on right now, and I don't run it normally in the middle of the day, but I kind of wanted to show you. Down here, you can see here, there's a line. So that line comes along here, it goes like from here all along this line. That's why I have my stuff planted where it's planted. And these tomatoes also have a line. You can see the blights coming back here. So they get water on the drip irrigation system. And what I like to do is run this for an hour, depending how hot it is, either every day or every other day. So I have, it goes from where it starts all along on this side and comes all the way down. And then you can just put in a line wherever you want it to go. It runs all along here. You can see here are some more lines. Everything gets a pretty good watering. In my buckets, here's my potatoes. I have these little drips here. Most of them have at least 2 in each bucket. And then this goes along here into my other raised bed. And I have a line here that snakes throughout here, and that it ends, and this is how you end it here. So this seems to work pretty well. It really gets everything watered. Now, I've mentioned in another video that this particular bed with the peas and the beans does not have any drips in it, and that bed with the herbs in it does not have any drips in it. But everything else does. On this side of the raised beds, you can see I've gone up here, and this 3x6 bed does have drips, and again the herb bed does not. And then here's one, can you see that there, that my rhubarb gets? And this is where the line that comes and waters all my buckets here, along here. Now when I installed this garden, I did not put drip tape in, and I probably should have, but I just wanted to get it in, and I wanted to see how this garden works before I made the investment to install drip tape. So what I did instead is I had these soaker hoses. I have to be careful. I should have used my GoPro to film this. And just your typical soaker hoses. I bought these at a rummage sale for $1 a piece. And I've got them just along where the roots are for the plants. And even if I don't get right where the roots are, this will soak down in here. It's, you know, within 3 inches. And there are roots down there, they'll get watered. So I have them running all the way down, all the way back up. And I was able to cover this whole thing with 2 soaker hoses. So this is a 20 by 20 garden. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fences that I had to cover. Now what I did is here's the soaker hoses. I bought one of these things and put it on the end of my hose. And this one goes over to where the drip irrigation system is. And since I'm running on city water, I have more than enough pressure to run the whole system. And that way I can run the system for an hour at a time. Hi, Macy. I can run the system for an hour at a time, and it only takes me an hour to water everything. I had to come sit in the shade again because it is hot today. It's like 90 degrees and very humid. So before I was running with that, the Y fixture allowed me to do, I don't know what the official name of it is, splitter maybe. Before I was running the soaker hoses for an hour, and then I would switch the hose and run the drip irrigation for an hour. And that takes 2 hours then to do all the watering, and it's just too long. And I usually turn it on, like 7 o'clock, because it doesn't get dark here until almost 9. So that allows me, it allows the foliage to dry before evening sets in, but it gives them all a really good drink. Now all the buckets that I have, like for my peppers and these few little tomatoes here, and the miscellaneous buckets that I have sitting around in my garden, all have to be watered by hand. And right now I'm using rainwater. I have 2 rain barrels, but there is no real rain in the forecast for, it'll be weeks and weeks. Already the grass is starting to turn brown. The grass goes dormant. And on one hand, I kind of like that because I don't have to mow the grass. But on the other hand, I love having a green lawn, and it's really hard to watch your grass just go dormant. And you can see people's lawns that are in the sun are really brown already. I'm fortunate here that my lawn in the back and my lawn in the front gets quite a bit of shade during the day, so it doesn't get like crispy brown, you know what I mean? So that's how I take care of watering this. I still have to do some hand watering, and that's fine. It only takes me like maybe 15 minutes to do that. I water the beans, the peas, the herbs, and the buckets. And you know, it's just a couple watering cans full for all that. Things that are in buckets, when it's this hot, I tend to water every day. And I was just at my son and daughter-in-law's place, and they have some plants on their patio, and I said, give your plants a ½ inch water every day when it's this hot. And that's kind of my rule. It sounds like a lot of water, but when they are in these buckets, that dry dirt in the bucket just absorbs the water, so it's not really that much water. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. There's a slight chance for rain. All it takes is one good downpour and my rain barrels are filled up again. So I would love just a 15-minute downpour. That's all I need to fill up my buckets. And the rainwater really makes my plants happy. There's something about the rainwater that there is no substitute for it. I mean, I can irrigate all I want, but it's not gonna do as well as the rain. But we're just not gonna get any. We probably won't get any significant rain until mid to late August now. And so it's just watering, 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 watering until then. So I hope this helped you a little bit with keeping your garden watered. I know it's kind of a struggle here, and there are a lot of places that can rely on a consistent supply of water, but this is not one of them. So, and the other good thing about it not watering is the mosquitoes will go away. But right now they're just ferocious. Oh, they're vicious, vicious. I live not too far from the Fox River, and when we have mosquitoes here, people who live further away from the Fox River don't have any mosquitoes, and they will dry up pretty fast when we not get any rain. So thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and I hope you liked what you saw here, and I hope it had some useful information in it. You know, never hesitate to try using the supplies you have on hand. I've had those soaker hoses sitting in my garage probably 6 years. I probably bought them at a rummage sale when I first moved in here, and I just never used them, and I fortunately didn't throw them away. So you never know when it's going to come in handy. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Happy gardening, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.